Okay, everyone. We are live tonight for our May 7th meeting. Verdale, can I please have a roll call?
Mr. Dice,
Here.
Mr. Stepanovich,
Here.
Mrs. Lane,
Present.
Mr. Lemak, Mr. McKenna,
Here.
Mr. Diakopoulos,
Here.
Mr. Olszewski,
Here.
Mayor Simon.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, in terms of unlisted amendments this evening, I think we have one. I think Ms. Kat Nadig is going to come to the mic and give us an overview of the big grant the library just got. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for taking some time out today to learn a bit more about our grant that we were recently gifted. So the Murraysville Community Library was recently awarded nearly $350,000 as part of the Multipurpose Community Facilities Program, which is a competitive grant program funded under the Coronavirus Capital Projects Fund established by the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. With the main purpose of providing communities with greater access to broadband services. On October 10th, 2024, the PA Broadband Development Authority approved a total of $45 million to community anchor institutions and units of local government for community projects to construct, acquire, or improve facilities that are or will be open to the public and will directly impact work, education, and health monitoring at the respective facilities. With this grant, the Murraysville Community Library will undergo renovations to promote access to broadband services by underserved demographics in the community, including teens, senior patrons, patrons in the workforce, and patrons with disabilities. What will this look like? Mike has been kind enough to project a schematic plan on the screens behind you. So in order to promote the use of broadband services to enable workforce development, education, and health monitoring, including remote options following the public health emergency of COVID-19, the Murraysville Community Library will fulfill the program requirements by committing to the following. Number one, we will have renovation to the concrete entryway to promote safe access to the building for senior patrons, families with children, and patrons with disabilities. Number two, we will be updating the existing front door handicap mechanisms on the front door and the library's main doors, as well as installing bathroom handicap mechanisms to make the bathrooms accessible for senior patrons, families with children, and patrons with disabilities. Number three, we will be installing quiet rooms to offer privacy for studying, tutoring, telehealth phone calls, health monitoring, video conferencing, testing, workforce development, and/or interviewing. Number four, we will be purchasing new furniture to promote library and broadband usage within the building and in the parking lot, for which access to Wi-Fi is advertised. Number five, we will be replacing some of the book stacks and installing wall shelving to create room for the aforementioned quiet rooms. And number six, we will be replacing the carpet in the adult and teen sections of the library to promote the library and broadband usage by creating a comfortable and clean environment. More information on this grant can be found online at the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development website. Updates on our renovation project can be followed on our website, murraysvillelibrary.org, and on our library's Facebook page. And if we can look at the schematic together, I can show you some of the details. So, awesome. So this is looking at the library from Sardis Road. So the entrance to the library is here. We will be doing some of that concrete renovation out front to level out the concrete and make it safer for people to walk into the library. The mechanisms for the doors being replaced here and here for accessibility. And the bathrooms will also have that new mechanism installed for access for senior patrons, families with children, and patrons with disabilities. The green area that you see all in here will be recarpeted with fresh carpeting. I think it hasn't been done since, since we moved into the building, so that will be very nice. If you look here, we will be installing the quiet rooms near our Tech Nook space right here. We'll have 3 of those rooms installed. Those will be quiet rooms. They will not be fully soundproof, but they will be quieted so that people can study and do all of the things that I had mentioned earlier. And then you can see throughout the library, we have added updated seating, furniture, and here are some drawings and pictures of potential furniture. These are not the final selections, but just to give everyone an idea of what it might look like, with an improved lounge area for adults, a fully renovated area for the teens, which will be right outside my office. So the teens will have their own little space to hang out. The quiet rooms, again, will have some seating added in the stacks so that people can sit if they need to. So it's basically just a giant facelift for the library, which is much needed. And with that, we're hoping to draw more people to the library to be able to use our broadband services. So, does anyone have any questions? Yes.
I substitute teach at Penn Trafford. In both middle schools and the senior school, they have a little coffee shop, which is manned by students with disabilities. Any thought to that?
We would love to offer something like that in our library. I don't think that it will be possible with this grant, but there is always room for something like that in the future, especially if we can find the space to put that. I would absolutely love to add in a coffee shop. That's something that many people have asked for, so it's on our wish list.
I think my son would really like that. It would beat paying for Panera, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just a little question. So the grant was for 400, what is that correct?
Our grant was for 394 and some odd dollars.
I knew it was close to
Yeah,
100,000.
close to 350,000.
It looks like you're making great use of the money. It seems that most of the improvements are cosmetic, right?
Yeah.
Other than the bathrooms and the handicap. Was there any thought given to some of the technology? Did I miss that?
Absolutely. So I did not talk about that.
Okay.
But because the cosmetic stuff is the thing that the community will see, but behind the scenes, our library is part of the Westmoreland Community Libraries system, and they have an IT specialist who works with all of the broadband throughout all of the libraries. And actually, I think it already happened on May 4th, he updated the speed of our internet connection from 500 Mbps to 1 Gbps. I might have those letters wrong, but basically he doubled the speed of our internet. And I have also been, we have started the conversation with Mike and Bill Piano about improving cell service as well within the building. So we hope to do that as well. Does that answer your question?
I guess I was asking more about like if there are, when I answered my survey, you'll see my kids make use of it, but I don't really make use of the library a whole lot. As far as like the interface with monitors or keyboards or things, how are we on that sort of technology in the library?
Yes, our computer space, actually, if we jump back over to the schematic here, our computers are currently located in this area on the main floor. We are actually going to be moving those to a new computer area here, which is where our DVDs are currently, and that will be a completely updated computer system in that corner. So yes, we will be installing new laptops, and yes.
In those quiet rooms, those private rooms, are there any video conferencing equipment? Or could there be?
That remains to be seen at this point. I don't think we have any plans to install any hardwired, but there are always options to add that in the future. So,
You have, like, kind of the piggyback on Matt's question. I know this just because a couple times recently, my daughter, a lot of the projects at the high school and stuff are group projects that they're working on, and were overtaking my TV and had presentations up. Do you have those in those rooms, like where somebody could work on if they're doing a project, that it could be up on a TV screen, or do you have TVs that are movable, mobile TVs that
again, we do not
somebody's
have
doing a group
anything
project?
hardwired, but there are plans to get new technology, new laptops in the future. So definitely on the list would be something that would be movable, that could be used in the quiet rooms. We just have to find that funding for that first. So that would be the next phase.
And those rooms are like, because, I think I would have thought with a group, I wouldn't have thought to go to the library with a
Right.
group, but having these rooms,
Yeah.
that would allow them to be able to go in there and talk and not
Absolutely.
be disturbing people that are
Absolutely.
trying to
Yep.
be quiet
So
out
the rooms will be very basic to begin with. They will have the hookups so people can bring their own laptops and own equipment to do things like video conferencing. But like I said, potentially in the future, we would love to add in our own tech that can be used in the quiet rooms as well.
Okay. What are the hours of the library? Like, how late is it open during the
Yeah,
weekend?
so Monday and Tuesday, we're open 9:30 to 8 p.m. And Wednesday through Saturday, we're open 9:30 to 5.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
And I also had a survey that I passed out to some of you. Verdale, if I may leave the extras with you. If you're interested in picking up a survey, I am just taking community feedback for if you haven't been to the library in a while, what would entice you to come back. So I'll leave those with Verdale, and thank you very much for your time tonight. I hope that you're all as excited as we are about the project. So
Thank you very much.
Awesome news, thank you.
Hey, Mike. There's one.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to our consent calendar items. Do we have any questions or concerns about the April 15th minutes? Okay, hearing none, can I please have a motion?
Motion to approve the April 15th minutes.
Second.
Thank you, Jamie and Mac. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. That brings us to comments by the mayor.
Thanks, Mr. Dice. I'll give you a little quick chronology of last week. I didn't turn this into 10 pages, which I could have, but I just tried to keep it short and sweet. As you're all aware, the emergency services started off busy last Tuesday morning at around 7 a.m. with 2 houses on fire in the village of Clover Ridge. Kept everyone busy most of the day. Then around 5:30 p.m., we had an epic storm roll through here. I do believe this was the most trees and electric poles we have ever had down on the roads. Many of our roads were blocked in multiple locations. I can't thank the Public Works, Fire Department, EMS, and staff for their quick response. This was not going to be a quick cleanup, though, and there were approximately 6,500 homes without power, and most of northern Murraysville was now without cell service. Clearing roadways to gain emergency access was first, but if there were wires in the trees that were across the roads, then Public Works and Fire had to wait until the power companies cleared the wires. By 2 p.m. on Wednesday, any roads that did not have wires down were open. Now we were just waiting for the power company to clear the wires so we could then get the roadways cleared of trees. Thursday morning, we started receiving calls from residents asking where they could get water, because many of our residents off the north have well pumps and they had no power. We quickly got a water buffalo from the county and put it in Veterans Field. Then our emergency management director opened 3 water filling stations, one here at the police station, Murraysville Medic 1, and Export VFD. Thankfully, West Penn Power had now called for assistance, and power companies from all around us started to show up here in Westmoreland County and Murraysville. It was Sunday before all the wires were cleared so we could open all the remaining roads. I would like to note how honored I am to be mayor of this town who responds no matter how difficult the situation. Thanks to all for their truly heroic efforts.
Thank you, Mayor.
Concludes my report.
Thank you. That brings us to comments by the Chief Administrator. Mike?
Yes, I can maybe piggyback onto the mayor's message as well. There are 2 events taking place, and I can pull the slides up here. May 17th is the Slam Fishing Derby, 8 a.m., kids stocking, 9 a.m. start. That's on 4121 Sardis Road for ages 15 and under. If there are questions, please email murraysville.slam@gmail.com, and you can click on the QR codes below to donate or register. There's one other event to mention. There is a Red Cross blood drive Wednesday, May 14th from 12:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the community center. For more information, you can go to murraysville.com. And that is it for the additional mayor report for this, this evening. And then one other item of note, just for the community to be aware, we did get notice that PennDOT gave permit approval to begin the traffic signal and roadway improvement project at Route 380 and Salzburg Road. So that is the current temporary green T configuration that's going to be made permanent. And so construction or work on that project will begin on Monday, May 19th. So just kind of a notice to the community. That's a temporary configuration right now, so they're going to be working to make that permanent. So that is all for this evening.
Wonderful, thank you. Good news. That brings us to community input. Seeing no takers, we'll go on to liaison comment. Yeah, whom is a resident? Liaison comments and committee reports. Carl, would you like to start?
As far as the Medic one, I was unable to attend the last meeting, so I don't have that. And the Parks and Recreation Foundation, the next meeting is yet to be scheduled.
Okay, awesome. Matt?
Parks and Recreation meets next Tuesday, the 13th.
Thank you. Jamie?
Planning Commission meets Tuesday the 13th.
Uh-oh. Matt?
Following the same suit. Environmental Action Committee, there was no new items for the April 29th, so the meeting was canceled.
Awesome. Eli?
I have a little bit of an update for the pension fund. The actual quarterly meeting is tomorrow. However, I did get an advance report, so I'll just give a quick, short update on Q1 performance. As you might expect, it was in the negative side, but only like 1.1% down for the quarter. If you look at the quarter performance, the fixed income was up, the equities were down. And then the other part of this, Q2 has continued to be up and down and volatile, but maybe I'll get more details tomorrow and share that report next week.
Awesome.
Next meeting.
Sounds good. We will then move on with our agenda. There's nothing under workshop items, so we'll get straight to our action items. Huh? No, not at this time. And then it brings us to 13A. And before I ask for a motion, if there's any major discussion on this, we're going to want to make sure we break into executive session because this is a legal matter that we're settling here. So any extensive discussion, we want to make sure we do back there. So with that being said, could I have a motion for 13A?
Motion to approve the settlement agreement between the municipality of Murraysville and John C. Mano Jr. and Diana A. Mano.
Second.
Thank you, Jamie and Matt. Any questions about this agreement?
Mr. Dice, just one clarification. In the agenda briefing, the percentage allocation read as 66.6675 and 33.3335. There's no 5 on the end of those.
Okay.
It's 66.667 and 33.333.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
I think I copy and pasted from a previous settlement.
man. Okay, so with that being noted, any final questions or concerns? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 13A is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to 15A under engineering. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to award the contract for DPW-1-25, the 2025 overlay project.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jamie and Eli. Mike, anything to go over with that?
Very briefly, bids were opened on April 23rd, and the low bidder was Tresco Paving with a bid of $1.4 million. The next lowest bid was $1.55 million. Staff is asking council to award the contract to Tresco in an amount not to exceed $1.5 million.
Okay. Council, any questions or concerns? Okay.
No.
So I think we should just note that for the purposes of this, there will be a award to Tresco Paving, and it will not exceed 1.5 million. So no final questions or concerns. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 15A is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to 15B. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to authorize the release of the bond being held for the completion of the Bowser Collision Center.
Second the motion.
Okay. Thank you, Mac and Carl. Mike?
Yes, the bond that is being held for completion of the collision center is $130,898. The project, the owner has requested the release of the funds. The contractor completed all of the required improvements, and so the developer is requesting the full release. Staff believes it is warranted at this time.
Okay. Questions or concerns from council? Okay. I think we should note again that's $130,898. That being said, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 15B is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to 15C. Can I have a motion, please?
Consider authorization to advertise DPW 2-24 Duff Park parking lot paving.
Second.
Thank you, Carl and Matt.
And again, very briefly, this item was included in 2025 CIP with a budget amount of $300,000. This was an item that council did approve back in, I believe it was August of last year, August of '24. But as we know, the Duff Park Improvement Project took a little bit of time to get underway and ultimately get to this point, this phase in the project. So they are now ready for paving, and through discussion with the Engineering Department and Public Works, we thought it would be best to just put it back on the agenda to kind of reaffirm the approval so that we could go back out to advertisement, because we did not advertise back in August. They were still doing subsurface work. We were getting some of the utility easements in place, and then they had to install the bathrooms and some other things. So it took a little while to get to this phase, but they are ready now to go out to advertise for paving. So we're asking council to approve the advertisement.
Is that being blacktopped or concrete?
Blacktop, I believe.
Okay. Again, this is just to advertise, but any other questions or concerns from council? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 15C is unanimous. Any old or new business from anyone this evening?
I just wanted to say thank you to Mayor Simon for last week was kind of crazy in this community, and he kept us in the loop because all of us, I'm sure, received calls like I did. And when you're armed with at least a little bit of information for people, it's very helpful. So that came from the top down here. And then also him and former Mayor Brooks for offering the hot meals. I think that was huge for, I know a lot of people that had no food and
It was very
no
generous.
fridges. And
Very generous.
so, and then you saw community members, neighbors helping neighbors. It's pretty cool to see. So thank you, Mayor Simon.
And even members on this team, I know I was out of town, but Eli helped out with my wife, getting her connected with some power. So many thanks to the entire team.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I do have a couple recognition. Over the last couple weeks, there were a couple community events that I was able to attend. One, actually, Jamie Ling and I were at the opening day for Franklin Regional, and just want to recognize Michelle Kish, who ran a a well-organized day despite the weather.
It was bad.
Yeah, cold and rainy, but there was a lot of energy, so I appreciated that. And then also last week with the National Prayer Day, Helen Elliott, she very well organized there as well. And you know, beyond the spiritual part of it, I thought the patriotic part of the event was really cool. So I appreciated being there. On behalf of you, Mayor, thank you.
Eli, that reminded me too, I was at the Boy Scouts did the flag retirement ceremony, and I stepped in for the mayor on that, and what a neat thing for those scouts, and it was just neat seeing all the veterans there, and so just, you know, really a cool event. Great job to the Boy Scouts and the fire department for hosting it, and it was pretty neat to see. So thank you for that. Yep.
With all the accolades, I'd have to just say one thing. I've been without power for 5 days. No, that's not true, without phone service. But it's the phone, it's the internet, and my TV is connected to the internet. So it's none of the three. And of course, myself and my wife are in our 80s. The response from Kinetic has been poor, very, very poor. Essentially, just one quick comment is this morning, it was the customer service rep was looking for a thank you that he didn't lie to me. Meaning I asked him, when is it going to be fixed? He says, well, I won't lie to you. And he like waited. And I says, yes. And and it hasn't been fixed yet. So I plan to go to the representative's office and see if the Public Utility Commission can do anything to move things along. So
That's a good idea.
they're doing a poor job.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Any final comments, questions, concerns?
Nope.
Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you, Matt and Mac. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned, everyone. Thank you.